How'd you like your tea?
Tea? Earl Grey, hot.
Of course it's hot. What do you want in it?
Nothing.
Ever find yourself wondering about the Star Trek multiverse, its concepts and characters? Do you spend your time thinking about how deep science fiction goes? Hi, this is Trexpertise, where we discuss all things sci-fi through the lens of Star Trek. Dads. Whether biological or adoptive, through absence or omnipresence, dads have an effect on us. They are important people, whether they are in our lives or not.
Dad. Wesley.
And so, society can be awful judgy on dad competence and responsibility.
You are not.
However, TV dads are another breed entirely. They don't have the same pull on our lives exactly, but TV dads tend to be a measure of what a father can and should be. However, the fathers of television land are lately depicted as incompetent people, as giant dysfunctional children bumbling through life.
I sleep when she lets me sleep. I eat what she lets me eat. The only reason she keeps me alive is to open jars and kill bugs.
This ridiculous TV dad stereotype has even saturated commercial advertising.
Frank!
Sorry, honey. I had to move a wall.
For the sake of fairness, there have been good dads on TV. However, the idiot dad stereotype is quite persistent.
I'm done messing around. I'm bringing out the big guns. Yeah, that's right. Mom!
These fictional portrayals of how a dad should be in the world do matter to a great many of us non-fictional people. They can have an effect on the real-world value we place on fathers. As a result of this continuing dad stereotype, there is a reason to hold positive TV fathers in higher regard. As such, I'd like you to take a look at a TV dad that maybe you haven't considered before.
A fine example for the others. Who would you be?
I'm Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the Federation starship Enterprise.
Of course, Captain Picard isn't really a dad. He has no children that we know of. And Jean-Luc does have a few potential anti-fatherly qualities. He is often cold or distant with people. He doesn't really have a personal romantic relationship with anyone. Sorry, Beverly. And he admits to being quite awkward around children.
I'm not a family man like her, and yet Starfleet has given me a ship with children aboard. I don't feel comfortable with children.
However, there are several other Picard qualities to consider, which might change your mind about whether the legendary captain would make a good TV dad after all. And I'm not just talking about the fact that, as captain, he is naturally the father figure of his crew. For example, Jean-Luc has a rich, durable moral center, and he is not afraid to stand up for a principle he believes in.
They're living, sentient beings. Their rights and privileges in our society have been defined. I helped define them.
Even though Picard's job completely dominates his life, he is the sort of guy who would toss that job away to defend a principle.
Who the hell are we to determine the next course of evolution for this people?
Or to defend a member of his crew.
So I'm sentient, but Commander Data is not.
That's right.
Why?
Surely, this is a quality many of us would like to leave to our children. He also isn't afraid to change his mind about situations as they arise. He is constantly evaluating his own position and testing his sense of morality.
Well, I've never been afraid of reevaluating my convictions, Professor, and now, well, I have 20 million reasons to do so.
While Captain Picard can be distant with people, he is very much honest with those around him. He will tell you how he feels when the need arises. He will admit when he's wrong and will ask for help if he needs it.
Tough choice. Not if you were to help me. I need you!
As a part of this policy of personal honesty, he will genuinely find value in the contributions of those around him.
He does seem to have a very good grasp of starship operations.
You've just won this mother's heart, Captain.
Many parents feel it is important to pass on a sense of wonder about the world to their children, to instill in them a sense of possibility and exploration. That being so, Jean-Luc Picard is genuinely curious about the universe around him. Apart from being employed as an actual explorer, he lights up whenever he encounters something novel about the universe. The most inspiring quality is that Captain Picard empowers and challenges those around him.
I respect an officer who is prepared to admit ignorance and ask a question, rather than one who out of pride will blunder blindly forward.
I understand, sir.
He holds his people to a high standard, but not without first offering positive encouragement and providing a model for how to fulfill that standard.
In your position, it's important to ask yourself one question. What would Picard do?
Even when he is at his weakest, he still looks out for those around him and pushes them to be at their best.
Don't you think that Jay here would make an excellent science officer? What do you say, Jay? Will you join our crew?
I accept.
In closing, the state of TV dads in general may be unsatisfying. However, in the real world, there are many different ways to be a dad. Even though Picard is not technically a father, he possesses many positive qualities that real-world dads can aspire to. In the future, perhaps you would consider Captain Picard as a potential TV dad.
I'm a role model.
I'm sure you are.
Thank you for watching. Please feel free to leave a comment in the subspace below and click on over to Patreon to support the channel. Thank you.